Greetings, friends and fellow cigar box guitar enthusiasts. Del Puckett here. And in this video here, I'm going to show you something cool. I assume most of you are familiar with these. Sometimes I guess they call them the Shane Spiel tuners. I don't know if these are the exact ones, but they're the common tuner that you get. These tuners at cbgitty.com. They come in silver, in the black, gold, and silver. The silver one here I took apart. Okay, so this here is where I just learned something just 10 minutes ago. In a previous video, I did a little explanation on these gears right here, and I'm wearing a white shirt so you can kind of see behind this thing here. When I tilt it like that, you can see the flatness of the bottom part there. So this shaft comes up. This is a 1/4 inch shaft that comes up, and then it hits the flat metal part of the tuner. Now these things here are held together by this Phillips head. If you loosen this Phillips head, then the whole thing comes apart, and you'll have two halves. You'll have the tuner gear. I think they might call this the well, it's just one half of the gear, and then the other half is this thing here. I took it apart so you can see the here's the shaft, and here is, I've loosened this thing with the Phillips, and this thing comes apart. Now there's two washers in here. Okay, there's two washers. They're tiny, itty bitty, teensy weensy. You're not gonna be able to see it, but it's a little tiny little washer. There's two of them. And if you look really closely, okay, this is where I need everybody to pay attention. Ah, my sticker fell off. Now it got all covered with sawdust, dang it. I have to make it a badge or whatever. Okay, so if you look really closely, right there you can see that little black thing at the base of this thing. You can see those two washers. And I looked at all of them, and they all have the same thing. You can kind of see it there in the shadow, right? There's that wash. There's two washers here at the base. If I took this thing apart, you'd see that there's two washers, and then this thing, which is the little, it's threaded on one side, and this is like the worm gear, and here's this. Okay, so we just reverse engineered this thing. Now herein lies the solution to the problem. If I was to drill a 1/4 inch hole and then put this tuner to it, here I'll use the top one here since that's the right one here. So here we are. Now, if I look in here, there's going to be a gap. Oh, you see that gap, dude? Of course you can see that gap because you can see my white face up through it. Look at that. See that, how that washer is preventing this thing from snugging up? Now, what I could do is what I did here is I just took the next size drill up and drilled it, and then now it's flat, flat, flat. Okay, so here's the other one. This is with just the 1/4 inch drill, and you can see the gap. And then, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, for the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-drill it with the, I think this is a 5/16. I need to measure that little washer, and then find the right size appropriate drill, and then do a pre-drill on that one, and then drill my 1/8 of an inch, and then I'll get a nice snug. All right, guys, here's why that's a problem. If you have the little washer and you put it up there and you have a gap here. Now, if I tighten down on these screws here, it's going to separate my gear. Okay, so guys, this is almost designed to fail, dude. If you tighten these things down, right, it's gonna think about it, right? It's gonna open the gears, and And so if this gear is open, of course it's going to bang up or gum up or get jammed up, and it's going to stick. And yeah, when that happens, I mean, the tuner's basically ruined, because now the metal's bent and you can't bend it back. If you can't bend it back, then the little hooks right here, those little hooks, then they become loose. And then, yes, so your best bet is to just throw it in the trash if that's the problem. Okay, so let's pre-drill the next one with, or not this one here. I'll do it on another piece, just to test the theory. I'll just drill it on a piece of scrap. So yeah, you learn something new every day, and sometimes you learn 2 things in a day. This is what I just now learned. So I went ahead and got a piece of scrap, and I actually did measure the diameter of this guy here, the ferrule, string ferrule that goes on the outside here, right? Measure this guy, the shaft part of it, the part that goes into the wood with the little threads on it, that little shaft part. And I use my 5/16 drill bit. So what I did is and I also measured that little gasket. Lo and behold, it is also 5/16. So I'm like, little light bulb. So I use the 5/16 and just go all the way through. Come on. There you go. So I have 5/16 all the way through. And now, when you put the ferrule in, sometimes you got to get a hammer, but just a love tap there, because these things go pretty easy. Now that guy's in, get my tuner with the washer, put it on, and sure enough, I'm trying to wiggle up and down. It's tight. So I think that washer is the reason why they put that washer in there, is to get that nice tight gap here, and only have one drill bit to go all the way through. So, yep. So there's 2 things right there. So yeah. So now we have 2 solutions to the problem. And then this thing keeps falling off and getting covered with sawdust, so it's not even sticky anymore. So, solution to that is to just put it in my pocket. All right, that's it for this video, guys. Be sure to tune into the next video to see the tuners in place, and then to hear what this guitar is going to sound like. I'm ready to button it up. Just a reminder, you can get these tuners and all sorts of other different kind of tuners also at cbgiddy.com. And if you use the link in the video description and the promo code, then you can get 10% off just about anything they have over there. I was also looking through these grommets here, ferrules, whatever you want to call it, and here's a 1/4 inch. So if I'm going to be drilling a 1/4 inch, maybe I could try these again. I forget what all sorts of these guys here. They come gold, black. The nice thing about it is they come with all the screws, because you have those screws. They're easy to lose. Hey, you guys want to meet the new additions to the family? Hey guys, I'm out here in my wood pile, and I found this awesome board that'll be perfect for a neck. Watch, check this out. Look how straight this is. You thinking what I'm thinking? I think I can make a slider out of this thing.